Lynn,
Yes, sir.
do we have to approve this intergovernmental cooperation?
No, that's just, that's not, that's just that. That's
The
why
authority to do it.
What I understand is that was given to Cal just to give everybody the statutory authority so we can do things like that. That's my understanding. Which we all know that anyway. We've got a couple of them already.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a meeting, right, not just one. Yes, that's what they want to do, they got people coming in. If none of our people show up, they'll talk to us.
I'll show up there. So no one ain't gonna be there, Jim?
I think they moved you back over there.
Yeah, I know, I went back and double checked last night, I'm pretty sure that was, yeah, that's no issue.
You really want me to fill this out?
Just for our auditor. Oh, Robert's question, yeah.
Do you have any knowledge of any Robert's language?
Thank you very much, President.
Ronnie's not here. No, he's in I mean, in New York.
Yeah, he has some stuff. Can I just leave this for him?
That works.
Good one, Bill. How you doing?
Talk about
Dr.
it.
Cole,
Yeah.
Yeah, just leave it.
John, look up and see.
He's supposed to be running. I think he'll be back soon.
Could we have roll call?
Mayor Segrist,
Present.
Vice Mayor Harden,
Present.
Commissioner Carlisle,
Here.
Commissioner Martinez,
Here.
and Commissioner Warren is absent, Your Honor. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have our invocation. Is there someone here from Ministerial Alliance? Okay, we'll go on to the approval of the agenda. You're going to proceed. Motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
Amended agenda.
Amended agenda, I'm sorry.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Martinez to approve the amended agenda as printed. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. The minutes of the April 24th regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 24th regular meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle to approve the April 24th meeting as printed. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Next item is items from citizens. Please come to the podium and state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please. And if you have anything on the agenda you would like to talk to us as we get into the meeting, you may also approach the podium. Rita?
Rita Isaacs, 406 Princeton. I could not stay last night because I had a meeting, of all things, a finance meeting I couldn't get out of. But when I found out what on, while she was working on when I left, I really was upset. When it came to the museum director, I think he's the best thing we've ever had. Good ideas, enthusiasm, whatever. And the things I heard was about the roof and the lights and then a cabinet. Now, I didn't get to stay for that, but heard you say immediately no. And I was wondering, did you know the price of the cabinet or why was it an immediate no?
I didn't say no, I just said you could buy one for $50 as an option, and he was wanting to spend $2,000 for a cabinet.
So if he could have given you a price on it or some way to get this, would that have been accepted for the cabinet?
He had a portion of the money.
I
Do
believe.
you know what the price of the cabinet was?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I believe it was just north of $2,000, and during the meeting, he had presented that he'd only secured $900 of that amount, but I believe he'd actually secured the full amount after the fact.
I personally would have seen that he had it. Is that the only thing that's gonna keep him from being our director? One of the things, and then the roof, the city does own the building, is that correct? And we have insurance on it? On the roof, I assume. Was it damaged? Is that why we've got to have a new roof?
Rita, I think it was damaged years ago and the insurance money was spent.
Oh, on something
Well,
that,
no, actually, if I could clarify,
Yes, sir.
the claim that we turned in for the damage on the insurance, on the air museum roof back in 2004, we repaired the roof at that time. Over the years, there was additional wind and just, according to the insurance company, if we could have tied a particular incident to the time that the wind blew or the time that, whatever, we could have turned in a claim, but, just over the years, it kind of slipped through the cracks, and so therefore, it was not eligible for an insurance claim to fix the issues we currently have.
how much money are you talking about? Fix that roof?
I believe the quote was $220,000.
How much do we have?
It's on the agenda tonight. We have secured the funding for that. So hopefully we'll be able to get that fixed.
Yes, ma'am, Rita, it's actually agenda item number 14 tonight, we'll be addressing.
I see that's down there, but what happens is you guys get up and then I have questions and I'll get back. So on the third item, the lighting, was that passed on that gentleman that you're talking about the change of the lighting?
It was tabled because, to our knowledge, there hadn't been multiple bids received yet, but it definitely seemed to me like we were kind of all on the same page, and that seemed like an excellent idea to follow through with. So hopefully we'll be able to get some more bids, and then as soon as the roof's completed, look at undertaking that project as well.
But we want the roof fixed first before we put the lighting in.
You do what, Jack?
We want the roof fixed first before we put the lighting in.
So I kind of got the idea this company was willing to lost a lot of that bill for the lighting.
No, they're wanting to finance it.
Yeah, to my knowledge, that was the only thing that they offered, was if there was no incentive, it was just a low interest rate financing option that they had available in-house for it.
But I think there was a local bid that was cheaper.
It was,
Yes,
but we can get it.
yes,
You think it's needed?
yes,
Good idea?
yes.
I do too.
I think it was, especially if we find out it actually does save that amount of money, I think it'd be a ludicrous idea not to.
And I think the lighting is a lot better being LED than regular.
That's true too. Okay, but I have something else that I forgot that stuff. So, if, when the people are presenting things, and we have questions afterwards, can we come back?
Yes, ma'am?
We can.
Yep.
Okay.
On every single item, just so everybody knows, like if anybody has a question or a comment on every individual item, you have an opportunity before we vote to come back up to the podium.
All right, just raise your hand.
Yeah.
If necessary, I'm going to get out of the subcommittee I'm in, so I don't miss these, because I feel like it's important.
Okay,
Well,
appreciate your being here. Rita.
And Rita, I don't know if anybody has a date, but we're having another meeting between the the City Commission and Man Foundation to try to figure out things more, and love for you to be there if you could. Did we set that for this week or is it next week? Does anybody remember the exact date? It'll be in the newspaper, and we'll make sure to try to give you a call and let you know that it's going down.
I was just wondering if these 3 items are what caused the director to retire.
You need to ask him, you need to talk to him.
Is he still here?
I do not know. Some of the man found it, are in the audience, some of the members of the audience, they can answer that question. I do not know, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rita.
Anyone else? Frank?
Go first, Nancy.
Nancy?
Nancy Parsons, 15250 Road I, and I want to go before the commission and say thank you so much for all the attention that was given to my husband Don when we were having a joint meeting last Friday. He's doing well. He did suffer a temporary, well, I can call it a mini stroke with the TIAs, but he has only had some memory loss issues with it just from that day exactly. And nothing else, no other side effects. So we got home last night from Amarillo, but everyone, I just want to share our thanks on how everyone responded and helped us so very much. And a quick call to 911 and Steve Holton's attention while we were there and convincing Don to go to the ER. And the air flight from here, it's fabulous that we have the services that we do in the city. So thank you so much. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Give
it.
him our blessings
Yeah.
and prayers. We can.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that. So,
Yes.
thank you, Nancy.
Frank?
Evening.
Hello, Frank.
My name is Frank Friesen. I'm out east of town there. I think the majority of you people know me. I'm in concern with the flood waters that we've had in the past. And I started doing some thinking, and it says that we were issued some grants, correct? A grant for fixing these problems. I would like to know who presented these grants to the federal people that are going to give us these grants, whether it's you people or whether it was the last city manager that, as far as I'm concerned, did not do a very good job. And I was beginning to wonder, because I have not heard from anybody about these grants, whether they were actually filed or not.
That's a Cal question.
Yeah. Actually, we have submitted, it was a grant, it was just a single grant to
Yes.
FEMA. And I think, Karen's not here, and Pete, I think we've sent in the last of the information that they needed. Every time we'd send it in, they'd want something else. We actually had to go back and say, this individual address, at first they just wanted to know number of houses, number of businesses. Then they turned around and come back and they wanted to know exact addresses. And I believe we've gotten all the information they need for right now. They're still reviewing it. Hopefully we'll hear something from them positive rather than we need more information.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking is because I've been here for the last 5 months and presented this case 5 different times, and I have not heard anything, and so it really concerned me. And I was also wondering, is there any way we can check on these grants to see how it is being processed? Or is it going to be another month or a year or what?
With people, I mean, we keep checking with them. We just sent in the last information they wanted about a week or 2 ago that they requested. So it takes a minimum 30 to 60 days for them to get their stuff together and compile it and then get back to us. But yeah, we can follow up on it.
Okay,
And try
I
and
appreciate
keep
that.
it posted. But like I said, it's basically been a cat and mouse game. It's like we submit this and then they want this, and so.
Well, I appreciate if we could find out, because August is coming back around, and that's going to be a year since the last fiasco. And I was also kind of wondering if the city could provide a little money to take and go ahead and deepen that trench or that retention pond there by Beaver Express and see if it could be deepened a little bit more in case we did get another large rain. And if they do, that would show the people that you are getting the grants from that we are actually trying to do something about this problem.
And that's where a lot, no, Pete should have his plan and to present it at the next commission meeting. Here lies the rub. If we go do this work and we pay for it, then we're not eligible for the grant money. So it's like sometimes you can do things like with bonds and then reimburse yourself. But on this particular FEMA grant, if we do the work, sorry about your luck, guys. You had the money to do it, you didn't need us.
Yeah, but I also realize that if the retention pond is already there,
Right.
and if they would deepen it 5 feet down a little lower, 5 foot all the way around that retention pond would hold an abundance amount of water.
And that's what we're waiting on is the engineering report. He might say it needs to be 7 feet. You know, we're waiting for the engineers.
Pete?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, that's why nothing's been done on the flooding yet, is because since they're doing a comprehensive study of the entire city of Liberal, if you change any of it, it changes all of it. So we've been waiting to get the report back from Earl's Engineering, that way we can figure out how to pull the trigger on it and get everything started.
Okay, I'm just trying to keep this ball rolling.
Absolutely.
And
Come to the next meeting.
Well, I was gonna say, definitely be in the next one. if
you
you're
will get to see me in the next meeting, and I do thank you guys.
I'll be looking forward to it.
You
Yeah,
got it.
good
Thank you,
night,
Frank.
Very much. Would anybody else like to speak? I'm sorry, I can't see who you are.
Karen Wilson.
Oh, Karen, come up.
Hi. Karen Wilson, 1203 North Carlton. Again, I want to thank you guys for all the hard work you're doing. I know you guys are taking a lot of slack, and that you're keeping your nose to the grindstone, and I appreciate that. 2 things. One is just a quick question, but the first is, I'm driving around town, and it's just so frustrating to see all of these empty businesses, and the buildings are just dilapidated and falling apart. And I know the good portion of that is that so many businesses have gone out of business, and there's nobody that wants those buildings anymore. But I just have a deep concern over the fact that our taxes just have gone up and gone up and gone up. And of course, along with insurance, which you guys don't have any effect on that. And that's probably going to continue to go up with all of the disasters that just continue to happen. I just encourage you guys, just keep a lid on anything that doesn't have to be done right now. Just already new things, if you can avoid it. Because our businesses are hurting, and you guys know that just by the number of businesses that are going under, the taxes that are not being paid. Rental owners, homeowners, they're hurting so bad. Our property taxes just continue to go up horrendously. You know, we can't sell houses in this town anymore. It's just really, really rough, and I just would appreciate if you guys can really knuckle down on that as much as you can. And I'm wondering, are we really working on some other kind of industry coming into town rather than just restaurants and motels?
Just mentioned.
Are we,
Actually, I
do we
can
have
answer
something that we're in the works of that can be spoken about?
I mean, we had a meeting today with a company that really don't want to disclose. They
That's okay, I
they are a manufacturing company,
Okay.
and they are looking at, they would probably be somewhere around 30 employees in plant and 5 to 6 CDL truck drivers. Basically, we did everything we could, promised them the farm, told them Jack would wash their trucks. And so, of course, we're in the running, but we offered them every incentive that the city could possibly offer, and basically told if they went somewhere else and somebody knew us incentive we didn't know, let us know. We'll find out how to get them that one.
Exactly.
So we are working on some things. And obviously, manufacturing is a good thing to bring in the community because usually they have industries that follow them.
Yes.
And so, I mean, even though it's a small company, they're looking at basically 100,000 square. They need a minimum of 30 acres to run this plant. So we're not talking, even though it might only be 30 employees, we're not talking about a small scale operation.
And a big tax base as well as young.
Well, and just to let you know, Karen, we actually had a joint meeting between the county and the city last week about joint economic development and changing the entire structure of the way that that's going to function.
I
to
read
where-
about that, I thought that was great.
Yes, ma'am, and we'll be having continual meetings like that because we're looking at doing our comprehensive plan, instead of doing it independently for the city and the county, having a joint one, and combining JEDC to where, I think the preliminary idea, nothing set in stone yet, was that it would be funded from the city, the college, the school district, the county, and possibly the hospital, because that way it would benefit, kind of be a non-biased party that would benefit all Liberal and Stewart County and surrounding areas. So I would encourage, keep track on the city's website or with the Leader in Times, and try to make that next meeting for JEDC, and maybe it'll kind of help provide some hope and prospect to what can possibly take place in the next couple of years.
And also, when is the next focus on the future?
That date has been set for the third Mondays.
Third Monday, okay. The one time I got to go, I got there, and there were several cars there, and apparently it was canceled, and even the people that normally come didn't know about it. So, third Mondays.
On taxes, Chris can probably help me out. Chris, we haven't raised taxes for the city for what, 10 years now?
Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah.
Tell you about property taxes.
Well, that's,
That's,
there's 4 taxing entities in this
I know.
town, and the city has not taken a tax increase.
Okay, but you, it seems like it's one this year, one next year, one next year, and I figured it's the city's turn next.
We're all getting by that.
I completely understand your concern.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, have a good night.
Would anyone else like to speak? Are there any items from groups? Any group want to speak? We'll move on to number 6, the consent agenda. Are there any of these items that you want to pull out of the consent agenda, or you want to just approve the whole?
So we knocked that bad boy out all in one fell swoop.
Anyone want to make the motion, please?
Do you want to break down A and B or just do it
No,
all?
all of it.
Okay.
Do it all.
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda
That's printed.
as printed.
I'll second
There's a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Martinez to approve the consent agenda as printed. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Number 7, ordinance number 449, authorizing the issuance of taxable industrial revenue bonds, series 2018 hotel and conference center project.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'll be helping Mr. Parsons out with this item. Tonight for your consideration is ordinance 4499, which, as the mayor alluded to, it authorizes the issuance of taxable industrial revenue bonds, series 2018, for the hotel and conference center project. BAS Hotels LLC has completed the construction of the Fairfield Inn and Suites and is nearing completion of the conference center. And with our plan for that, we did intend to issue taxable industrial revenue bonds to help with the project. And now tonight it's time to bring that into fruition. I would like to, on behalf of Mr. Parsons and the city, I would like to express our appreciation to Mr. Bakta and BAS Hotels for believing in us. You know, this is a great project in helping to grow our community, so we greatly appreciate that. And with this item, there are several issues to consider, and I know that tonight in attendance is Mr. Garth Herman from Gilmore and Bell, who is here to address this item.
Good evening, Commissioners. As Chris mentioned, my name is Garth Herman. I'm with the law firm of Gilmore and Bell. We're the city's bond counsel. I'm filling in for Kim Bell tonight. who's been working with Chris and the other city staff on this industrial revenue bond issue. As Chris mentioned, the industrial revenue bond is for the VAS Hotel and Conference Center. I just kind of want to go over a couple of the main points with regards to this specific bond. It'll be for a principal amount of $7,895,430. And with this type of a bond issue, in essence, the city, even though it is a city issue, the city will act as a conduit issue. So it's not actually a debt obligation of the city. The city issues it on behalf of VAS Hotels. In this particular circumstance, VAS Hotel is actually going to be the purchaser of that bond as well. So there will be no sort of financial repercussion to the city with regards to the payments. In essence, the payments will need to be made by the company, and to the extent those payments are not made, there is no financial blowback on the city at all. How this one is structured is that, in essence, VAS Hotel will base lease a property to the city will lease that back to the hotel company in order to run pursuant to a lease that has a term that ends at December 31st of 2028. That's also the final maturity of the industrial revenue bond issue, so they're matched up perfectly like that. During that 10-year period, VAS Hotel will be granted a 10-year property tax abatement, and the city and VAS Hotel also has a rebate agreement with regards to the transient guest tax collected at the hotel and convention center property. At the end of the term of that lease in 2028, in essence, the bond will be retired, and the hotel company will have the option to purchase the city's interest under the lease for $100 when that occurs, and in essence, the transaction will then unwind, and full title to the property will revert back to the hotel company. As I mentioned, there's no financial obligation to the city on this. The city simply acts as a conduit issuer. That's how these industrial revenue bonds are structured under Kansas state law. And with that being said, if there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Make a motion to approve ordinance number 4499, authorizing the issuance of taxable industrial revenue bonds, series 2018.
I'll second it.
A motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Martinez, to approve ordinance 4499, authorizing the issuance of taxable industrial revenue bonds, series 2018. Any discussion?
Hey, Creek, when's the conference center gonna be done?
I would say maximum of 2 months, hopefully a month and a half.
Okay.
Fantastic. Excellent description.
Really appreciate you building it.
Yeah,
I
thank you guys very much.
appreciate the city of Liberal, the people that believed in us. It was a long, hard project, and it's finally coming to the end, and hopefully it's enjoyable to everyone in the city. So
I want to tell you guys, I took a tour with your manager last week. He took me and my wife, and very nice place.
appreciate it. And anyone who wants to visit and go check out the property, I encourage you to do so. It's really nice.
It didn't look like we could live in it.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for
guys.
believing in Liberal. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Item number 8, North Liberal Improvement Project.
Good evening again, Commissioners. We have before you tonight, this item deals with the North Liberal Improvements Project, which essentially there's a few components. One of those of which you can see the triangle where the Old Chicago and the Comfort Suites are going. And there's some other properties in this area, some other owners who have agreed, I guess, in order to make this project possible, they did request special assessments in order to construct the utilities improvements, the water and sewer lines, and also the street improvements. The city had initially issued a general obligation temporary bond, which comes due later, I believe in September, and we'll have several items to address this between now and then, but this is the first stage of special assessments to finance those. So for consideration, there are several documents here for you to consider. But with that being said, I would like to thank the owners, Pinnacle Development, Terra LLC, Liberal Property LLC, and Mr. Bruno for their assistance in helping to grow Liberal. And with that being said, I would like to introduce Mr. Larry Kleeman, who is with Ransom Financial Group, to discuss this item.
Thank you, Chris. Good evening, Commission. As you said, I'm Larry Kleeman of Ransom Financial. I'm also filling in for somebody just like Bart for filling for John Haas. As Chris mentioned, this is part of it. Now that the project in North Liberal is complete, getting ready to turn the 10 notes into permanent bond financing, and because this project is being paid for by property owners that benefit, and it's being paid by special assessments from those property owners, there's a few hoops we have to jump through under state law and before we issue the bonds to let the property owners know what we're going to special assessments. And so it's actually a two-step process. Tonight is the first step where you review the cost, which we've aggregated and divvied up according to previous resolutions. Each property owner gets a certain share of that cost. So we have that prepared in the documents. Once you approve that, we will notify each property owner and make a notification, letting them know what the proposed special assessment is. Also letting them know that there will be a hearing next month at I think your June 12th meeting. That's when they can come and speak about the special assessments. We're supposed to allow that under state law. After that then, there's a special assessment ordinance that's adopted, officially letting the special assessments. And then there's a pay-in period. If anybody wants to pay in their specials, they have until June 28th. And then a couple months later, in August, we'll have issued the bonds for the remaining amount of the specials of the entire amount of the project cost. So tonight, you're just approving the documents, basically total cost and proposed special assessments, authorizing us to notify the owners. And also on your agenda item is the first reading of the ordinance. That's the special assessment ordinance that you will adopt next month. Let me assess. If you have any questions on the numbers, let me know. And Garth, if you want to know, also for the legal documents, you can answer any questions.
So we do not vote on the advance ordinance? We vote on
I think the ordinance is just for the first reading. You normally vote on the first reading. It's, next month, we will actually adopt the ordinance. So
through this process, I believe it does require 2 readings. So one would be to advance first reading to a final reading.
the second and final reading.
Yes. And I was going to say on this document, the way that I term it, maybe if we could have 2 motions. The first one to approve the documents, and then the second one to advance the ordinance.
Okay, we need to vote on the, number A first.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the documents in 8A.
Okay. I'll list them.
It just shows the approval of the documents. Or does they go down?
Yeah, it does state the final cost.
Okay. Okay. Approval of the following documents which has been attached. Exhibit A, statement of final cost. Exhibit B, assessment roll certification. Exhibit C, notice of public hearing. And Exhibit D, form of notice of hearing, statement cost proposed to be assessed.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Marquis, second by Commissioner Harden, to approve the following document. Exhibit A, statement of final cost. Exhibit B, assessment roll certification. Exhibit C, notice of public hearing. Exhibit D, form of notice of hearing and statement of costs proposed to be assessed. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. And then on item B, we need to vote on ordinance 450. Did I have a motion?
Chair will make a motion that we advance our ordinance number 4500 to the final reading, which will establish a public hearing on June the 12th, 2018 at 5:30 or soon thereafter, as may be heard, to meet for the proposed of hearing any and all written oral objections to respective assessments set therein.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion to advance ordinance 4500 to a second and final reading, which will establish a public hearing on June 12th, 2018 at 5:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as may be heard to be for the purpose of hearing any and all written or oral objections to the respective assessments set therein. The motion was made by Commissioner Martinez, seconded by Commissioner Harden. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Larry,
Thank you.
do you need a roll call vote on this item?
It's a roll call, so not required.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 9. Resolution number 2279, environmental and vehicle abatements.
Hello, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. We're here to present to you the resolution 2279 for abatement of hazardous environmental conditions within the city of Woodrow. The items listed have legal notice required by law and by certified mail. None of the items have been corrected by the owners and still remain hazardous at this time. If the abatement is approved through the adoption of this resolution, all the properties will be posted with legal required 10-day notice. Following that, the hazard will be removed. The vehicle abatement will be towed at the owner's expense with no cost to the city. The environmental hazards and demolition will be billed to the city, then the city will bill the landlord. Staff would ask the commission to approve the resolution.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2279.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle to approve resolution number 2279. Any discussion?
If I could, I would like to really thank these guys for being proactive, and especially since we're looking at actively for going after economic development. That's one of the key things in our community that will draw potential customers, that we have a clean, safe environment. So I want to thank you guys for a great job.
I appreciate it.
I thank you also for that. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor? Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much. Item number 10. Fire Department.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, tonight I'm coming to you to request permission to fund our annual Part 139 FAA live fire training that we're required by the FAA to complete. This will be identical to last year. We bring in the MAP trainer. We set it up in the non-functional area near our airport fire station, conduct the 8-hour training right there. The cost is $11,000. This is by KU Fire and Rescue Training Institute. This year we've been contacted that there will be 4 additional students in there that are not part of our department, so we can't charge them an entry fee into it. So we've decided on $400 per student, so we will be recuperating about $1,600 of our funds. The funding for this will be an educational services line item from the fire department. I did contact Airport Manager Debbie Giske. Last year, we split that with her through land sale funds, and she told me that that was not going to be available this year, so this will come completely out of our educational services this year. So staff recommendation is to approve the expenditure of funds for the FAA required live fire training in the amount of $11,000, and this will come from that educational services line item.
And last year, we also had to buy some foam.
That's,
because you used foam in your.
and that is a requirement. We have to shoot off so much product, the foam and the dry chemical annually.
So you're gonna come back and ask for foam later?
Part of the budget process this year, we're going to be increasing our chemical supply. That is correct.
I'll make a motion that we approve the aircraft firefighter training in the amount of, and correct me if I'm wrong here, $10,512.75.
No, I don't believe
It's actually 11,000.
Just get 11,000 even.
Yeah, if you look at the bottom, it says the administrative overhead includes a 5.5% assessment. And
Any classes, you know.
Yeah, so there's 11,000.
I'll second that.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle, to approve the aircraft firefighting training as required by the FAA in the amount of $11,000. Any discussion? All in favor?
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Item 11, Arcalen Park, electrical service and campsite.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. I was asked to assist our Arcalen Park staff with an upgrade of the main electrical service for Arcalen. I contacted the master electrician to assist staff find a way to do most of the work in-house and still be under supervision of the master electrician. I contacted Danny Medeiros with DNS Electric, who will be the master electrician. Danny is a city licensed electrician who has been licensed through the city for many years. He will be in charge of the project and will be pulling the permits for the electrical upgrade. The electrical service upgrade started out just as that, an electrical upgrade from a 200 amp service to a 400 amp service. As Danny walked around the park looking at the campsites to make sure the 400 amp service would cover the load, he found that each electrical pedestal, which if you look on the sheet I handed out to you, the red lines go to each orange circle would be a pedestal. There are 17 in total. He found that each electric pedestal had one 50 amp receptacle, one 20 amp receptacle, one 130 amp receptacle, and a 50 amp breaker. The 50 amp breaker is the only protection, protecting the 50 amp receptacle, leaving the 20 amp and 30 amp receptacles unprotected. He also found that there were no ground rods for these electrical pedestals either. Due to the major issue violations being found, the upgrade of the service has now gone to an upgrade of the service and the campsites. This is a safety issue and needs to be addressed as soon as possible to get all the campsites brought back into compliance. Staff requests City Commission consideration to perform electrical upgrade to Arcalen Park in the amount not to exceed $15,000 to be funded from streets, drainage, and other capital improvement portion of the 1 cent sales tax.
Make a motion, we approve electrical upgrade not to exceed $15,000 to Arcalen Park.
All second.
A motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden to perform an electrical upgrade to Arcalen Park, not to exceed $15,000. Discussion?
I know that we've done a lot of work out there, so this should be a good year.
Yes.
The board appreciates it.
We appreciate all the hard work you all
And
done.
this will be done in time for the campers for the
Yes, that's
holiday?
why we're trying to rest ticket from Memorial Weekend.
That's good.
Yeah, good plan.
Okay, we ready to vote?
Yes.
Yep.
All in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 12, Recreation Department, the first item is youth sports.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. I'd like to thank you for a moment of your time this evening. Stepping in for Christy Starr on the youth sports. Bringing to you guys tonight, the Rec Department is asking to expend $2,690.93 for the youth baseball program. During the last flood, we had 10 catching gear equipment that we stored out there at the softball facility, and those were destroyed in the flood. They sat in the water, the mitts, the catching gear got destroyed. So we're looking to replace 10 catcher gear packs, 11 catcher gear gloves, batting tees, and replacement tubes, baseball game balls for glass ball, t-ball, machine pitch, and baseball and softball, a lot of them in there. And then a little jumping ahead for flag football, sideline markers. Do note that $2,280 are coming out of donation. We had a nice, generous donor that took care of a majority of this, leaving the $410.93 coming out of youth baseball. Any questions?
Do we want to do those as one deal, or do we want to break up A and B?
Actually, we probably need to break up A and B due to the finance.
Okay.
We need to do A separate. So you want to approve the recreation purchase for the
LED scoreboard, I'll do that.
No, that's next, that's B.
Yeah, that's B.
This is just all used sports and equipment right now.
sports and equipment.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I'm just looking for the total amount.
Let me say, I don't have it on mine.
What is the total amount?
It's $2,690.93.
Oh, okay, so yeah,
Is
that's
that,
fine.
now, is that the total, or is that including your private donors in addition to that?
That's the total cost. I was just saying $2,280 of that was donated money from a private donor.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of replacement youth sports equipment in the amount of $2,690.93.
I'll second
Okay, motion to approve the purchase of sports equipment for the baseball, for the youth, in the amount of $2,690.93. Any discussion?
Do we need to accept the grant money?
The donations.
Donation?
Okay. If you would prefer to, I mean, we can, just to make sure. Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the acceptance of the grant money.
Donation money.
Donation, I'll second that.
Donation money.
Okay. We first need to approve that we're gonna spend the money, and then we will approve the grant.
So let's vote on the.
All in favor of spending the $2,690.93? Okay, motion carries. Then, we need to, accept the grant money.
For $2,200.
Donation.
Donation for $2,280.
Private donation.
It's already a motion.
Yeah, what do we motion in a second?
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
We'll get a handle sometime.
Hi.
Thank you to the private donation.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Very much. Okay, you want to do?
Okay, part two is, I'm up here and I'm very excited about this in the future and the vision that the city has for the baseball facility. As you guys know, Ron Warren donated a lot of his time, effort, and labor in the new ticket booth that is now out there at 8th Street. As you walk in, drive by, you guys can see it. Very nice facility, storage in the back. We'd like to move forward on phase 2 of this operation. And City of Liberal is looking to upgrade its facility by getting 3 new scoreboards, upgrading them to LED lights. They all have 9 innings, pitch counts for both teams, and a clock on it. The pitch counts and the clock have become very valuable due to new regulations with high school schools. They're trying to protect pitchers' arms, and these pitch counts, you want to keep them under 100 pitches, I believe, is high school level. And this is just, there's been a lot of injuries. Tommy John is a new thing. These kids don't, well, that's another story. I go on for a day about that. But I'm up here on part one, is asking for the city to go with varsity scoreboards, LED lighting, pitch counts, wireless controllers, for an amount of $30,404.59.
How long's the warranty on these?
5-year warranty.
5 year.
This is the same brand that city uses at the softball facility, Roswell, everywhere across the board. If we have any issues, they mail you out, and it's real easy to unscrew the LED light, unplug it, pop a new one in. They never ask questions. It's, hey, you need a new controller. After the flood, we got 2 new controllers because they were damaged in the water. No questions asked. Just right away. Very good company.
Are we going to start holding tournaments?
Yes, and this is the next thing. We host an 18-year-old state tournament in the second week of July. Next year, we're asking Cal Ripken and Babe Ruth to put in for every district, state, and the region. We want to bring people to town, and that's business in its own. Hosting tournaments, baseball, softball, soccer, basketball, kickball, dodgeball. I mean, you name it, we're going to be hosting it. Cornhole, tag, I don't know, tag.
Yes, dodgeball.
We're going to be doing thumb wrestling, a new thing, I guess. It's on ESPN, so we're hosting it. Liberal is going to be Tournament City, USA, and I want you coming. I want your teams coming, your families. I want to fill the hotels. I want you eating at our restaurants. It's going to make money for everybody, and we all benefit out of it.
That's good.
Yeah, sounds excellent.
Make a motion to purchase the 3 new LED scoreboards from Varsity Scoreboards in the total amount of $30,404.59.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden to purchase 3 new LED scoreboards from Varsity Scoreboards in the total amount of $30,404.59. Any discussion?
If I could, I'll clarify on the funding. I did go to the focus meeting the other day. Mayor Seegers was there. I brought that up to the focus group, and it was brought up that the original intent of the 1 cent sales tax was to build baseball fields and maintain them for our kids. As at that time, we didn't have it, and they were very on board with us doing this and using it out of the capital improvements out of the 1 cent sales tax. So, it's
Quality of life.
Yeah, quality of life. You know, they didn't care about the tournaments. You know, they didn't care about anything else. They said the intent was for our kids first. And also, there was a part 2 on your B, wasn't there?
Yeah.
On the dugouts.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to do that.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. 4-0. Okay, now explain it.
Okay, part 2 here, and this is going on to additional facility upgrades. What we're looking to do on the gold, which is also your varsity field, this is the main field all the kids play on. This is the one the kids love it. This is your main attraction. This is kind of your Cavalier field the college has. Our dugouts several years ago were sunk in, concreted. They're real big, heavy. For any player that's in down there, it's very uncomfortable to be down there. You're 4 feet deep. On top of that, you got chain link and a couple of rocks in your face. A lot of the kids do not like getting down there, so they sit on the fence, which causes a real issue with safety, foul balls, getting yelled at. And there's only one way in, one way out of this dugout. There's no air. Come summertime when it's 100 degrees out, it's an oven. The kids cook in there, and so they all sit outside. What we're looking to do on this part is to raise the dugouts up, just like Cavalier Field. It'll be about 2 feet deep. We'll fix the drainage, because right now we have French drains in there and they clog up, which when it rains, those dugouts are flooded. So it takes time for the water to sink in or else to pump them out. We then put a 4-foot fence with steps walking out. That way the kids can sit on the bench and be under netting that is padded, but they can also stand. But if the ball comes, they're going to duck behind us. With this, I did a storage unit in the home side dugout for rigs, bases, base plugs, baseballs, instead of them having to run all the way back behind goal into the press box to get all this stuff to come out. It's right there, accessible in the dugout for all teams to use. And I gotta apologize on the numbers. Talking with Ronnie this morning, we're going back over the numbers, and I know he's not here. I did say per dugout was going to be $7,000, but we did not factor in electricity. What we're looking to do, we need to put electricity in the closet for having the lighting, and also plugs for, because everybody has to plug in their phone during the game or tablets. I mean, that's just the bee's knees nowadays, as you say, high quality. So each dugout we're looking for is about $10,000 per dugout. The project is not to exceed over $20,000 for both dugouts. And the funding for the scoreboards and projects will be, as Kyle said, used from the drainage and other capital improvements fund. Any money left over would then go back into that fund.
I'll make a motion that we perform the dugout improvements at Gold Field in the amount not to exceed $20,000.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Martinez, to perform dugout improvements at Gold Field in the amount not to exceed $20,000. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, sir.
Item 13, Liberal Housing Authority Board appointment.
Get my glasses on. Hi, Commissioners. I am from Liberal Housing Authority, and we had a board resignation from a member who had completed her 4-year term and needed to move on. The board had received 2 different applications, and when we're looking at both of those, they would like for you to appoint Nikki Durbin. So that is my request tonight, that you appoint Nikki Durbin to the Liberal Housing Authority Board.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Nikki Durbin to the Liberal Housing Authority Board.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Harden, second by Commissioner Carlisle to appoint Nikki Durbin to Liberal Housing Authority Board. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Mid-America Air Museum roof.
Commissioners, I have an exciting project for you tonight for the Mid-America Air Museum roof. At our last commission meeting, we learned that the Mann Foundation had graciously announced that they had secured $50,000 in grant funds for use in the Mid-America Air Museum roof project. And they requested to be invoiced directly by the contractor, Webcon Inc. And then at the April 26, 2018 meeting, Mr. Burke requested assistance from the Liberal Convention and Tourism Board, and they agreed to utilize $175,000 of guest tax revenues to fix the Mid-America Air Museum roof and to create an ADA compliant ramp. With that, the plans are currently being engineered for the ramp, and they'll be presented at a future commission meeting for consideration. So with that, at the last meeting, I believe their quote was contained in the packet. I've again included that in tonight's packet, and Webcon Inc. had provided this quote, and if you'll notice on the detail, they had a March 7th price on their quote, and then a March 8th price. So they came back in and reduced their price by an additional $22,600, which we greatly appreciate. And of that, if the commission will remember, we had, through an emergency procedures, we had fixed the portion of the roof on the northwest corner that was flapping in the wind where we could see the daylight and so on. So that portion of the quote has already been completed. And I would like to thank the Convention and Tourism Board for their assistance in that as well. So back to the quote. I would like to present the quote from Webcon Inc. for commission consideration in the total amount of $215,454 to provide structural repairs for the northwest corner of the hangar, which, like I said, we've already done that part, and then also to install a green sustainable roof system that would provide a 20-year material warranty. And I've calculated the quote on there for you. The original quote of $215,454 minus the $20,604 of the repairs that have already been done, less the $50,000 grant from the Mann Foundation, leaves a remaining balance of $144,850. That would be the amount that would be utilized from the Convention and Tourism Board funds.
Chris, is this contract, is this bid still good, because it's dated the 8th, and it's in 30 days?
Yeah.
Thank you.
My understanding is on the grant, they weren't giving us the money, they was giving it directly to the roofer.
Right, yeah. And
So do we need to approve the grant because?
We need to approve number 8.
What I would suggest for your consideration, if the commission would consider accepting the Mann Foundation grant and the amount of $50,000 for the Mid-America Air Museum roof, with the grant amount to be invoiced to Mann Foundation by Webcon Inc. So in other words, we would approve the work, but the Webcon would invoice the Mann Foundation directly.
Could I have a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Hart, to accept the.
I think that's back.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Motion by Commissioner Hart, second by Commissioner Carlisle, to accept the Mann Foundation grant in the amount of $50,000 for the Mid-America Air Museum roof, with the grant amount to be invoiced to the MAAM Foundation by Webcon Inc. All in favor? Motion carries.
And then, commissioners, for the second part of that, now that we've secured the funding for the roofing project, staff would like to request commission consideration for Webcon Inc. to provide the repairs to the Mid-America Air Museum roof, with the remaining amount of $144,850 to be funded from the Convention and Visitors Bureau Fund.
I'll make a motion to approve the Webcon to repair the Mid-America Air Museum roof in the main amount of $144,850 to be funded from the Convention and Visitor Bureau Fund.
I'll second.
A motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden, to contract with Webcon Inc. to repair Mid-America Air Museum roof with the remaining amount of $144,850 to be funded from the Convention and Visitors Bureau Fund.
Wish we could get it for $1,000.
Any discussion?
I just want to thank the tourism board for this.
Yes.
Well, and thank you to the Mann Foundation for securing $50,000
Yeah.
in money for the project as well. I'm so excited we're going to get the roof.
Then I wonder if we get a better price on our insurance than we got to do, just like they do our houses, and it's something we can check with.
We'll sure try.
Sounds like a better roof.
At least it's a roof.
Thank you for joining us tonight as well, I appreciate it.
Okay, all in favor? Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Earls Engineering, item number 15.
You can explain this one better, because this was brought before me.
Commissioners, for your consideration tonight on this agenda item, I did request a contract from Earls Engineering for the inspection of the Clay 54 project. The best way that I can explain it, the understanding that I have is, as this is a joint project with KDOT, the city had already paid our portion of the project to KDOT However, as they explained to me, the KDOT portion of funding allows a maximum of $800,000 for the project. And due to the amount of the construction portion, that was all utilized for construction, and there would not be any monies left for inspection. And at that time, this was back in mid-2017, I believe, talking with the city of KDOT, we had two options. We could either provide additional funding to KDOT for them to administer the inspection services and pay Earls Engineering themselves, which I believe they also have an administration fee or something of that sort on there. Or the other option, we could do an agreement directly with Mr. Earls and save a little bit of money in doing so. So with that, at that time, the decision was made the city wished to pursue this option, and I believe that it was intended to bring to the commission. Apparently, it's something that must have, for one reason or another, that portion did not occur. But the fact of the matter is, we're in the middle of the project, and I already have a couple of construction invoice or inspection invoices with no funding to pay them. So, for commission consideration tonight, I would like to present the Earls Engineering and Inspection contract in the amount of $169,886.37 as set forth in Exhibit B1. And with that also, I would like to point out that this is an estimated amount, and he is invoicing on an hourly basis. And enclosed in your packet also is the document that he had prepared back in April of 2017, a little over a year ago, and the price is still holding firm. And for your consideration, I'd like to present this contract to be funded from the same area that the construction project was, from the streets, drainage, and other capital improvements portion of the 1 cent sales tax.
So I need to make a motion to approve the contract in the amount of $169,886.37.
Yes, sir.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the contract with Earls Engineering in the amount of $169,886.37.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Put you next again. No, it's different.
Like Bill on Bill.
It's the Garfield School area now.
All right. USD 480 has donated their main playground facilities to the city. The playground equipment at Garfield School will be moved to our Kalen Park to set up an area out there. So basically that's going to leave an empty lot there. I know I have, and several commissioners have been approached about making that a city park. I haven't really had much input from one person in the community on making that a park. I did talk to the engineer, and his thought might be best served as if we did attain that property, it might be best for an overflow pond or a frog pond, because that's a real low area. We can basically just put a leveling tube underneath the street, but that would be an option that we would have to evaluate after we see his plan and what's needed. If we need any additional storage space, that might be a good place, because that is a low-lying area. But what I'm looking for is an action item for the commission to determine, do you want to proceed and obtain this property as a park, or do we want to bypass on even pursuing it as a park?
I do personally, I do not wish to see a park there. I think that the land ought to be sold for more housing. I think that'd be a good area. Yes, ma'am?
As you're speaking about that, nothing to do with playground equipment, but I was looking at that as a good place for, an off-leash dog park. It'll be a very small one, but, something like this will be it.
Thank you for your input.
Commissioner Carlisle, did you say for housing?
Yes.
The way I understand it, Little has a lot of housing that's empty. Why would we want to make more housing that might be empty?
Like Mr. Cal said earlier on economic development, where companies looking to come in at 30, 35 employees. For each employee that comes in, usually have 5 employees within the city to have to back them up, restaurants, whatever. We are going after economic development very strong. We might want that land a year or 2 years down the road to build apartments. I'm not considered to be built tomorrow, but in the future.
Yeah, I'm thinking future might be fine, but we have lots of houses for sale. Lots of
And
houses for
I understand that.
Lots of empty rental property.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, for rent signs everywhere.
yes.
Thank you for your input. Yeah, I don't necessarily know what I want us to keep the land for, but it's always nice to have land available for anything.
It's not even our land.
It'd be nice if we could have that land.
No.
That way we had it available. But yeah, I'd love to see that equipment make it out to Arcana Park. I think that'd be a really nice addition out there with everything else they're doing to improve it.
Can I speak?
Yes.
I grew up across the street from Garfield. The streets do flood up there, but the actual block that Tony's been talking about did not flood. And I'm here to tell you, you put apartments there in these older homes, that is not going to look good. And you got your frog ponding down in your way, you build nice apartments there, and you've got that flood area down there. That's not going to look good. And I'm with Tony. I like the idea of a little park there. We've got a lot of little kids. Where they're going to go? Clear up to Harrison Circle, several blocks away. I prefer to have that park myself.
I think it's a area that could be used if we get it from USD 480. But as far as making another park to maintain, we got enough to maintain. We're taking it to a park, so it could be good out there at our kids. The equipment.
We're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. We don't even own that land.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Yeah, I mean, all I'm asking for is, does the commission want the city to pursue that as a park through 480? And they may not want to give it to us, they may not. That's just one of the proposals we're throwing out there.
Only thing we got right now is the playground.
And it's gone.
I'm definitely in favor of us trying to acquire the land, and then for undisclosed reasons. That way we have flexibility and options to have all of those kind of discussions down the line.
Now, you're talking about their USD 480 only giving it to the city for use solely as a park? Is that what your concern is?
Yes.
So they won't give it to us if it's not gonna be a park?
Well, I honestly don't know. In fact, 480 has not even approached us about this area.
that's why I say we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, they have not approached us, and I mean, my question is, do we want to approach them about acquiring the land? And obviously, do we want to, I mean, and we kind of have to have a specific reason why we want it. Obviously, I'm pretty sure if I go to 480 and say, well, I want you to give me this land so I can build apartments on it, it just got value. Or, I mean, it got a value to it. If we want to do it for
I think the housing part was thrown out there by one of the board members as an idea. Yeah, that's an official.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we start having a conversation with USD 480 about the acquisition of the land and just see where it goes.
having conversations with Christie before any of that, acquiring the land regarding the school. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
What do you do, city attorney?
Fails to pass. Can you table it to the next meeting? Okay, vote, we have all 5 members here.
Table.
That issue will be tabled. Okay, the next item is water department building purchase.
Okay, all of you should have a copy of the real estate contract. This goes clear back, I think it was in March when we passed a resolution to pursue this purchase. We actually, the location is, well, we all call it the old Schlumberger building. I don't know if anybody knows the exact address, it's probably in the contract somewhere. And what we are proposing to do, and I have worked with Chris and Gilmore Bell, is looking at doing a bond on this, but in the meantime, we would pay for the building out of the water department reserve fund, and which time the bond comes through, then we would replenish the reserve fund because it is there for water line replacement. Is that correct, Chris?
Yes, and to simplify the matter, the bond portion that we're pursuing for the water building, we're also looking at combining with the special assessments bond that will be closing later in September to make things more marketable and hopefully to obtain a more favorable interest rate. And as Cal said, we did pass a resolution which allows us to reimburse water project costs up to 60 days before the passage of that resolution, which would also include the water building.
I read through the contract, you did too, Connie, right? Your real estate lady, you approved it? Make a motion to approve the contract. With Radco Builders, LC.
Purchase the old Schlumberger building. Purchase the old Schlumberger building. Have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden, to approve the contract with Radco Company to purchase the old Schlumberger building
For $560,000.
for $560,000. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. We're ready for the city manager report.
Okay. Chris, got something here first, real quick.
Commissioners, I've contained a memo in your packet dealing with the wheel loader lease purchase. I would like to publicly apologize to the Bank of Beaver City and also to the commission. In our bid process, Bank of Beaver City was invited along with the other local banks, and then we also included any other institutions that we have dealings with. And I received a call from Mr. Weber asking, what was the city mad at the Bank of Beaver, or why didn't we consider their quote? They in fact did have the best lease purchase rate at 3.85%. And so I went back and looked at Mr. Weber's email, and when he replied to my request for proposal, it had a simple thank you email message on it, but there was an attachment with it that I completely inadvertently overlooked. And I just wanted to bring that to the commission's attention and also, to apologize for that. We had previously committed to municipal asset management's proposal of 4.13%, and the bill loader price was scheduled to increase by an additional 2% on May the 2nd. So I've sent an apology letter to Mr. Weber. We'll make sure that we include Bank of Beaver in the future, and I've reassured him that, there's no hard feelings. We enjoy dealing with them and any other bank in Liberal. So,
Thank you, sir.
Questions?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Accept the apology.
Yeah.
Yep. First, I wanted to thank the staff for doing a great job. I think it was obvious by some of the proposals they have tonight, some of the activity that we're really getting proactive and trying to work with the community. I want to thank you guys. You're doing a great job. You guys are the ones that make this job easy. And then I want to remind the commission that I still haven't heard back from you if you wanted to participate in this co-op with the county. So if you would let me know by email or by phone whether we're interested. It's $2,500, includes up to 5 people. Strictly up to the commission whether they want the city to participate or not. Okay, we already covered the potential manufacturing company. I was at the KMU conference last week, which is Kansas Municipalities, and it was a pretty good conference. There's some things we want to implement, possibly one of the key things being an asset management program. The other key thing was Tracy Streeter with Kansas Rural Water Office was there, had a very good presentation, kind of shocked all of us with the water report. The fact that in 2018, right now we're in worse water shape than we were in the drought of 2011. So we've got the water department, they're out depth checking every well, making sure where we stand. Right now there's some cities that's going to have to start taking their first conservation methods, which is voluntary conservation, cut down on sprinklers. Hopefully we get some rain, something happens. We don't have to go to the next step where you can water on Monday, you can water on Tuesday, type thing. Hopefully we don't get there. But we were all shocked to find out that we're in worse shape than we were in 2011. The joint meeting is still on for Friday night at 5 o'clock right here in this room. I encourage anybody to come. Primary talk is joint comprehensive plan with the city and county, pursue the economic development. We're trying to get everybody to participate, and include the city, the county, the college, USD 480, the hospital. I mean, everybody's getting excited about economic development. We've got to make Liberal grow. We've got to get something here.
Is that not 6 o'clock?
5 o'clock. That means you're gonna have to get up from your nap early. And basically that's all I've got. But I want to thank everybody.
Okay, next item is items from commissioners. Jack, you want to start us out?
Yeah. I want to thank the man board for coming. Appreciate it. After the roof, we can look at the lighting. Rita, appreciate you coming. Love to see you. Want to thank the city staff. Want to thank the police department for all the drug busts. Okay? Really do. Y'all doing a good job. City staff doing an excellent job. The town's looking good.
Thank you, everybody that's been coming to the meetings. I've been loving all the special meetings we've been having. I think in order to obtain any kind of massive progress, we have to be able to communicate, because we can't set open meetings. We can only do that in certain ways. So I look forward to all the special meetings in the upcoming future, and let's keep moving over forward.
Was that under 2 minutes?
It was. I think that was my quickest one ever.
Did you put that in minutes?
Tony, jump in on this one.
Okay, I want to thank the Marcellus family for moving that railroad passenger car down to the depot. Police department, Dennis, with your help and assistance, and got it down there real quick. And, thank city staff for what they're doing, good job. So, thank you.
I want to thank the Cinco de Mayo committee and everybody who worked on that celebration over the weekend. I think that was, brought people to Liberal, and I'm glad to see them there at the Air Museum Foundation members here. And, I hope you like your new roof when it's put on. Until dawn, we're thinking about it.
Thank you.
I want to know how many commissioners are going to be able to attend this meeting this coming Friday night. Okay, all right, good, okay.
We'll have a quorum.
Okay, good.
Just won't have Cal over here. So.
That's fine. Family first. Right down. Okay. Thank you all for everything that you've done for the city, all the hard work you put in, and I appreciate you trying to clean up things. That's going to mean a lot when we try to show off our town. Future businesses coming in. The next item is the vouchers.
Real quick, one more thing I did want to throw out. Thank you very much to Tony and all of the people out at Baker Art Center. Their butterflies and stingray exhibit was awesome. They said they thought it brought in between 6,000 and 7,000 people, so I thought that was terrific. Thank you for putting on that event.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $1,146,539.47.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Carlisle, second by Commissioner Harden, to approve the vouchers in the amount of $1,146,539.47. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Have an executive session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss potential litigation pursuant to case SA 75-4319B2, which is the attorney-client exception under the Kansas Open Meetings, and includes City Attorney Kane to the executive session, as well as City Manager Burke. We will go into executive session at 6:56 and return at 7:06.
We have a motion to go into executive session for 10 minutes to discuss potential litigation pursuant to KSA 75-4319B2, which is the attorney-client exception under the open meetings, and includes City Attorney Kane and Calvert to the executive session. We will go in at 6:56 p.m. and return at 7:06 p.m.
I'll follow you and close the door behind you.
foundation ever talked about it? The foundation ever talked about the hours? Was it Zoom?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? Closed on Mondays? Does the board do anything on it? Does the board have any say? Did they have any suggestions or opposition or anything?
I'll probably do that.
Turn that way. But you don't think closing on a full day makes any sense either? Or do you think? Is there any particular day that is slow? Mondays are slow. Sally says a lot of people travel through. Why not? Somebody in the front or somebody in the front of that. They're just sitting there. That's not a good first impression. But like this morning, it's me. Two full-time employees are you and Chris. Peggy is a part-timer.
Yes, oh, I'm sorry, yesterday morning, Chris forgot that his schedule, so when he works Tuesday through Saturday. Because we have to cover it's some amount, and I work 6 days. The only day off is Saturday. But Chris works for Saturday.
First one's 2 days to wait for the rest time. Why? It's one day to unwind and then one day to months I get there early. You guys are people coming on Sundays?
I'm not old. Sundays are either,
Good or bad or
yeah, it's usually like physical or 5.
Talk about that. But when you go to Cal, you should have to make a decision. At least somebody is talking about it.
They told me to research other.
You'll be the foundation meeting today?
Yeah, because I got and that's why I'm paying. That's the one which I asked.
their recruiter, he said, we started pressing on that. You out there. No, but I wanted to be down there. Once. I heard that, and I remember that, and I know that to be true. I can tell you that I never.
Sit back down, Matt.
Does the commission wish to take any action as a result of the executive session?
No action taken.
And I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you
Thank you
all for
everyone for
coming.
coming.